Well, different day, different part of the ranch. I'm still out hunting pigs, but I'm also looking for a little cave I know about and have been to one time. If I can find it, and I did, it's a neat little spot. In addition to hunting pigs, I'm up here on this ridge because it's a guaranteed bet that there used to be primitive people living up here, and so there's loads of flint, loads of stuff to find, and it's a pretty cool place. Come on, I'll tell you about it. First, I got to go back and get my pack that I left so I didn't have to bring it down here. I want a drink of water. All right, headed back over to get my pack where I left it sitting on a rock. And I'm pretty sure this is right because I was already over here once. There is more flint. Busted flint, whole flint, pieces of flint, different kinds of flint. Chert flint, agatized flint. There's a chunk right there. You got to believe there were tons of Indians, sorry, Native Americans work in this part of the world. You can find artifacts once in a while. Yep, there it is. Walk through the oak shinnery here. Those are pretty. Yay. Made it back. I can get a drink of water now. Gloves off. All right, pardon me while I get my flint collected and get me a drink. Yay. All right, we'll be back again. Now, what I didn't show when I stopped just a second ago was that in that 20 or 30 minutes that I had my pack off and sitting on that rock, just up on top of a flat rock, not on the dirt, not on the ground, was that when I picked it up to put it back on, there were 10,000 stinking ants all over it. I mean, all over it. And it took me a little bit to get those brushed off, and I still wasn't 100% sure that I got them all. But I feel like I did, so hopefully. And by the way, for all of my good friends that want to make fun of me for breathing hard, that's just what I do. Besides the fact, it was a fairly tough hike. I'm carrying a pack. I got a 12-pound rifle. I got some other stuff I've got on, and up and down over rocks and through brush and breaking limbs. It was a fairly good hike. There was a little bit of exertion involved, so I'm not ashamed. Thank you very much. You can smell it when you start getting close. Yep. Hey everybody, it's Rob, as if you didn't know that, but it's Rob. So, howdy. I came to a neat place here and I wanted to share it with you. This is a little spot over on the mesas between Sweetwater and Abilene, Texas that I have the privilege and the fortune of being able to come and visit. This is a little cave here, which are, I don't know if they're rare in this part of the world, but I don't know of a whole lot of them. In fact, this may be about the only one I know in this part of the world. It is a Saturday and it is hot and muggy out here today. Or maybe I'm just not used to that kind of weather yet, but it is probably about 92 degrees, humid. I don't know what the humidity is, but it just has felt sticky and muggy all day long. And so that's made it especially hot. There's a lot of breeze blowing. In fact, I don't know if you can hear it. But in the background, there's a great old big wind turbine that's spinning. It was all nice and quiet, and you couldn't hear that until just about 10 minutes ago when they turned it on, fired it back up, got it going again. I guess people are running their ACs and starting to need the extra electricity. But the breeze doesn't get down in here into the trees. This is just absolutely thick with cedar brush and scrub oak and shinri oak and all kinds of other stuff. And so when you get up in that, there's not much breeze. The air doesn't stir and it gets hot. I am completely sweaty and nasty, and I got little cuts all over me, and I tore my pants right there on a sharp limb somewhere. At least it didn't tear my skin, although my skin will heal. These pants won't. I know the fashion nowadays is to have the pants with the big... In fact, we were at a rodeo yesterday, and some of the girls wearing those pants, good grief, there were more holes in them than there was pants leg that was left. Whatever, I guess. Who knows? But anyway, I was sitting here drinking a little bit of water and eating some salty chips, and actually got cell service here, getting text messages from Anonymous American right now. We're talking about things a little bit, and he's wishing he was here. I guess he's wishing he was here. I wish he was here. It'd be fun to do a little exploring and some shooting with him, but one of these days, maybe, brother. We hope. But anyway, got cooled off a little bit now. I'm not burning up like I was. I'm not kidding. I was roasting out there in the sun in that heat like it is with no wind. And so I'm going to get one more drink of water, and then we're going to go back in here and just see what's in this cave. It smells skunky, but not quite skunky. More like, yeah, more like animal pee. Some kind of a cat or fox or something like that. Cheers. I didn't bring much in the way of flashlights. Don't know why I didn't think about it. I knew I was going to be coming into a cave. But I got a headlamp I can carry in there. And then I got my phone, which has a flashlight on it. So, Mr. Anonymous, if you will forgive me for silencing this for a minute. And I'm not going to try to carry my rifle in there. That's that PTR 91 chambered in 7.62 by 5.1 308. But that'd be a little cumbersome dragging around in there. Now, if I get in there and find a big old mean critter of some sort, I wish I had it. But until then, I'm not. So, let me put my gloves back on. They haven't dried out very much yet. They're still kind of sweaty. And we will just go in there and see what we can see. I've been here before, but it's been several years ago. In fact, I had to work on not being sad a while ago. The last time I was here, I don't know if I mentioned this, was with my girls. All three of them were here then, and we were with the landowner. And he's old enough now that he might not want to try to make it back down in here, because it's fairly, I'll show you that here in a second too, fairly rough getting down, kind of a scramble getting down in here. It's not awful, but you know, one of these days I'll be too old to do it, probably. Even as it is, I'm probably getting close to it. So, let's go see what we see. Ugh. Now I'm going to get my pants dirtier than they were. Yeah, you can smell it. Ground is a little bit wet in here, not surprisingly. It goes on back up in there a ways. Here, I'm gonna pull this off and see if I can show better what's going on. Get my fingers out of the way. All right, there we go. Now, not the greatest light. Light went out, I bumped it. That's not good. There we go. Yeah, the light's not great. Anyway, pretty small as K's go, but my guess is a few hundred years ago they would have had the loose dirt dug out of this, and it would have been quite a bit bigger. Now I'll show you something interesting here. You can see where people have carved over the years that came in here. Trying to see if I could see a date on one of them, but I can't. Alright, well, as you can see, not a whole lot in there. At least if everything came out right, you can see. But it is nice and cool and comfortable, and so that's kind of good too. You know, something I can tell you about this, up on top of here, it is littered with flint. I've been picking up all kinds of pieces of flint and going to make my pack a whole bunch heavier, but I know a guy that I think will want it. I've got a whole bunch from the last time I was here, pieces like that. And so, Mr. Wes S., you're the lucky winner today, assuming you want it. Now, Wes, if you don't want it, it's okay. You don't have to take it. But this piece right here, I think, I may keep this and we'll see. This looks like a piece they were working on for a tomahawk or an axe head, just the way it's shaped up and kind of worked. Maybe not, though. It might just be my imagination. But I'll bet I could tie a stick onto that and whack some dude in the head if I needed to and put him out of his misery right quick. Well, anyway, I don't know a whole lot else to talk about right now, but it is just a beautiful day. With any luck at all, I'll see a hog on the way out of here. I put out some corn at a spot up by a watering hole up there, so maybe that'll draw one or two in. We'll see if that works or not. And a little bit of fresh pork would not be a bad thing at all. Other than that, I don't know a whole lot to talk. You know me, I know plenty of stuff to talk about, but I don't know a whole lot of stuff I'm going to go into right now. But anyway, thanks for tagging along with me, and we will catch y'all a little bit later. If something else interesting happens, you'll see that coming up next. If I find something cool, I'll share it with you. If I see something scary, I'll run away and leave you to take care of it. But there we go. So maybe I'll be back. Alright, I shot a pig. I saw him hit, I heard him squeal. He ought to be down right here, but I don't see him. Like an idiot, I forgot to get a camera going before I pulled the trigger. Well, I told y'all if anything exciting happened, I'd show you. So on the way back to the house from the cave, came across while I was talking to my mother-in-law, telling her Happy Mother's Day. a day ahead of time. Came across a herd of pigs, and lo and behold, there we go. So, like I say, something exciting, got something. Problem is, of where I shot it, it wasn't a great shot. It was far enough away and the pig was behind some brush, so I didn't get a good hit like I would have liked. So this one probably won't be worth eating, but it is at least one hog out of the way. And boy, there's mosquitoes out here. It's pretty great. Hadn't seen a mosquito in a long time. But anyway, oh, I got my GoPro on, forgot about that. Anyway though, there's a hog. Hopefully get a couple more for the day's over. Maybe get a good clean shot up here where I would rather. And get one that I can carve up and be a little bit more, feel a little bit better about the meat. This is a small one anyway. This one's only about, I don't know, maybe 60, 80 pounds. But that's okay. For a lot of y'all that don't understand, hogs are truly a problem up in this part of the world. In fact, over most of Texas and a lot of other places. They are truly, they have gotten to where they are epidemic and they damage things and they just tear stuff up. And there's lots of them, and it's no good, and they've got to be controlled, otherwise it's going to, you know, it's going to cause a ripple effect on down the line for all the damage that they do. But anyway, we fetched this one in, and you know, coyotes got to eat too, I guess, right? So, all right.